Strong body, strong soul. You have both of them. I'm just here to remind you. Thanks for joining the show today. I am Maria, and I am thrilled to offer you this interview with Master Ercolano, 6th degree black belt in Tang Soo Do Karate. We are talking about bullying today. Here we go. And I want to thank Master Ercolano right here. He has worked with my son, actually. My son started with Master Ercolano when he was 7 years old, and now he's 16. So we've had quite a journey. Master Conrad Ercolano is a 6th degree black belt.
Yes.
In what kind of martial arts?
It's called modern Tang Soo Do. So this is a Americanized modern version of a Korean martial art. Been practiced for over 50 years in Korea, and now here in the United States. I've been practicing this art for 25 years. Martial arts is what area you're studying it in. It changes the art itself. And so the reason I call this an American modern martial art is you can't take a traditional art and expect to plug it into a modern society and just expect it to work. And that actually ties into what I think we're going to talk about today, which is the bullying thing. Which
we're going to talk about
bullying
right now.
It all ties in. But
yes.
Yes.
We were first looking for a karate studio for my son when he was 7. I didn't realize how many choices are out there.
Right.
There is such a wide range, how formal they are, how kid-like, how you've been able to design your studio how you want based on your experience.
Absolutely.
With your colors of your belts.
Yes.
Black belt being the highest, and then the different degrees. But I think it's so fascinating and cool how you do the colors for the kids to encourage them. With the stripes, would they start with yellow? What do you call it? Like the first 3, let's say, for very first, and how young?
We have. It's true because if it's not fun, kids won't engage in it.
Right.
And so we have our pre-karate program, and we have dragon belt and tiger belt.
Yes,
and
they
all
love
these,
that.
Yes, exactly. So that helps them to get into the culture and into the mindset of martial arts.
Yes. Now, starting from an early age, a lot of kids start with you when they're how young do you take kids?
Younger and younger. When I started, it was unusual for someone under 7 to start martial arts, and now we get 3-year-olds.
Wow.
Doing martial arts.
Wow.
And it's
tiny.
Oh yes, tiny. Wonderful thing about teaching children is their minds are completely open. You don't have to get into the heaviness of the overhead. This is exercise, this is fitness. And then the very first thing, which is my best tip for anyone teaching anyone with self-defense, is we teach the children to use their voices immediately. There's no, and now we tell them if someone puts their hands on them, they could say hands off or let go. And I wanted to help them to start to develop the vocabulary of self-defense early on. When they're younger, 9, 10 years old, this is just built in.
Yes,
someone puts their hands on me, just let go.
Yes.
And that's we're talking about the 3 things. Mindfulness. I love that you teach mindfulness. I love that I teach mindfulness in a different way, but in the same way connected. And if I were going to coach a parent on how to teach their kid how to protect themselves, the first thing it starts with is a dialogue between the 2 of them.
Between the parent
and the kid. Yes.
Okay.
And so and if a kid feels open to talk to their parents, then you're going to get the stories. Well, this kid did this to me today, and this kid did this to me today, and this kid did this to me. And if you have that openness with your, if a child's afraid to talk to you about what actually goes on, then that's going to close off their ability to process it and figure it out for themselves.
Yes.
We normally think about mindfulness just being mindful with myself or mindful with my environment. But mindfulness occurs between the parents and the children.
Right. I think it's really important, though, to recognize, too, sometimes, only sometimes, the kids don't listen to the parents.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Absolutely.
So often, and starting at an early age, because I have to tell you, the reason why I first started bringing my son was because he was having bullying issues. He doesn't remember anymore, but I remember these kids were picking on him at school. And for me to tell him, and he trusted me, and he told me what was going on, first of all. But when I said, just turn around and push them down one time, that's all you have to do.
Wow.
He didn't do it, though.
Yes.
So that's when we started thinking about we need to go martial arts. Karate would be a fantastic thing. Because they don't listen to their parents so often.
Yeah, first of all, you'd make a great black belt.
Thank you.
Self-defense. No, but that's it right there. So people want their children to be obedient. It's a two-way thing. And this is a person that has their own ego, their own self-image, the child has all of these things in place. The handy thing about having a martial arts, any martial art, if you wanted to bring your child to martial arts, what martial art would you study? Or where would you go? It would be a place where you and the instructor have rapport and you
Yes.
feel like the values between you and the instructor are the same.
Yes.
Because honestly, if it was my daughter in a self-defense situation, I would tell her to push the kid down too.
Yes.
But I can't teach that as a martial arts instructor.
Right.
But I can tell them all the technology to do that, but permission has to come from the parents.
Yes.
And
yes.
permission has to come. We just did a women's self-defense class this last weekend with a friend of mine, Master Katie Robinette, towards children and adults, and we talked about permission, and that boils back to self-esteem. If you don't feel like you're
Yes.
worth protecting, if you don't feel like you're worth fighting for, then nothing's going to fall from that.
Right.
So parents say, yes, fight back.
Right.
Kid
right.
says, yes, fight back.
Right,
If
but
the
then
parents-
they don't know how,
Well,
and a
then-
parent doesn't know how to teach.
Yes,
them
but
sometimes.
pushing,
yeah.
shoving them back is not a bad. It's not.
No.
It's not a bad play because again, you're talking.
As peaceful as I am,
Well,
push. You got to use your strength.
That's the dichotomy of studying something like martial arts. We have, this symbol here is the Tao. This is a place of just being, and how can we have this peaceful center but this quote unquote violent outside? It's because, in order to maintain peace, sometimes you need to be strong.
Yes.
You need to be able to stand up for
Yes.
yourself.
What are the top three things we were saying? Mindfulness, which we just mindfulness of your own strength and mindfulness of your relationship. First of all, if we're talking about kids with their parents,
Right.
being mindful
Yes.
back and forth there.
Yeah, so the parents have a mindful connection with their kids. They're always going to be tuned into what is going on and creating a dialogue, the most important thing, with their children about what. Even if the kids aren't willing to listen, if at least that they're telling you what's going
Right,
on,
right.
then you're tuned in. So apply to teaching a kid to be aware of their environment, or teaching an adult to be aware of their environment. Don't stare down at your phone. Pay attention to your surroundings. Look for signs that kids could possibly be bullies even before they approach you. Oh, you see them bullying some other kid. That kind of mindfulness.
Right. Okay.
Number 2, action plan. You gave Riley an action plan. Having something to do in the moment, or feeling I don't know what to do. This person's approaching me, or this whatever the situation is. If you have no action plan, you have no potential.
Right.
Even a poorly assembled action plan would be an action plan.
Now, let me just interject for just a second, because one of the things that I'm talking about here on my show all the time is vocabulary. And
Yes.
we often think other people know more than we do.
Right.
Even that very term action plan,
Yes.
a lot of parents out there don't realize that they actually do have an action plan. They may not call it that.
Of course.
And that's okay.
Right.
So I think it's really important to give them credit for what they do have. And thank you for saying that, because I never thought of it that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
that's
always
interesting.
have action plans. We can convey that action plan explicitly or implicitly. One of the reasons that I think you get that rapport with your kid and the mutual respect is they watch you interact with your environment.
Yeah.
Even if you go to the store and there's the product wasn't the way you wanted to buy it, and you say, well, it's okay, we don't have to bother anybody. Well, or approach, or you go to the manager and say, hey, look, I bought this thing,
Right.
it doesn't work, and they watch you assert yourself in your environment. They're going to model that behavior.
Right, and that action plan in our
Absolutely.
own life,
Exactly.
they watch.
Absolutely.
Now, what's number 3?
Okay, permission. Being mindful, but getting permission. You could if you told your kid, hey, listen, you know what? If someone pushes you, push them back. That's permission in a sense, but permission being specifically self-esteem, self-image.
So permission, not from someone else to you, but giving yourself permission to step up
Absolutely.
and take
Step
action.
Step up is such a great way of putting it.
Permission.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to get into more details about all of this great stuff
Fantastic.
in just a moment. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Wow, I hope this interview helps you find your fire. Listen to the master, Master Conrad Ercolano. If you're near Agora, find them. If not, I hope that the content here at this show helps you wherever you happen to be in the world. I am Maria. This is the Strong Body, Strong Soul show. Keep coming back. Make sure to subscribe, comment, and share. I'll talk to you soon.